Genre, biography. Marian Anderson, struggles and triumphs.
Essential question: how can one person affect the opinions of others? Read how the artistry of Marian Anderson changed people's minds about where African American singers could perform.
A voice of great promise. On February 27, 1897, a baby girl came into the world, crying with all her might. No one knew then that this voice would one day move mountains. It was not easy for an African American born at the turn of the 20th century to follow her dream. But Marian Anderson would become one of the greatest singers of her time. There were many opportunities for young Marian to explore her musical talent in her Philadelphia, Pennsylvania neighborhood. She began singing in her local church choir at the age of 6. But because she was such an adept singer, she was soon invited to perform outside of church. The Philadelphia Choral Society even awarded her $500 to take singing lessons. With such advantages, Marian was shocked by her first experience of racism and rejection. After graduating high school, Marian went to the admissions office of a local music school. "I want to study music here," she told the young clerk. When the clerk told her that African American students were not accepted at the school, Marian was stunned, but she didn't argue. She wondered, how can someone surrounded by the beauty of music be so full of hatred? The rejection did not stop the singer. Marian's church donated money for her to study with Giuseppe Baghetti, a famous voice teacher. In 1925, Baghetti entered Marian in a voice contest in which she competed against 300 others to win the honor of singing with the New York Philharmonic Orchestra. Unfortunately, her next big performance in New York City was not so successful. Because she was black, very few people came to hear her. Some critics found her performance to be lacking. As a result, fewer people asked her to sing concerts. It seemed that Marian's career was over. The discrimination she encountered at the music school could be found nearly everywhere in the United States. Many white audiences refused to hear African American performers, and many concert halls would not allow black singers to perform. "If I cannot sing in America," Marian told herself, "I will go to Europe." She left in 1930, hoping that audiences overseas would give her a chance. To Europe, and back again. In Europe, prominent composers and conductors praised Marian. Audiences flocked to hear her. To them, she was musical aristocracy, one of the most gifted singers ever. A man named Saul Harak, who saw Marian perform in Paris, became her manager. Soon he had a request. "Come back to America to sing again," he pleaded. "Will they ever respect me in America the way they do here?" Marian wondered. She decided to find out. She returned to the same concert hall where her career had nearly ended a decade before. This time, the performance was a success. The singer's popularity grew, and Harak began to book more recitals in the U.S. Still, like other African Americans at the time, Marian was not allowed to eat in many restaurants or stay in many hotels when she traveled. And no opera house would invite an African American to sing. But it was an act of prejudice in 1939 that gained Marian the greatest fame. Change did not come easily. Harak tried to arrange for Marian to sing at Constitution Hall, owned by the Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR. Though the DAR told Harak no dates were available, they continued to book white performers. Outraged, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt resigned from the DAR in protest. Marian's supporters breathed a collective sigh of relief when a federal official offered her use of the Lincoln Memorial for a concert on Easter Sunday, 1939. Marian was not sure what to do. The dignified woman was troubled by the drama of the situation. The prejudice barring her from Constitution Hall existed well beyond the concert hall's walls. Besides, the whole idea could backfire, and American audiences might once again reject her. On the other hand, Marian understood that the concert was not just about her. It was about helping all African Americans. Should she lend her voice so that others could prevail against injustice? Marian decided to take the chance. The concert drew nationwide attention, and Marian was stunned when nearly 75,000 spectators attended. Millions more listened to the live radio broadcast. 15 long years would pass before New York's Metropolitan Opera invited Marian to sing. But she was the first African American ever to receive such acknowledgement. On opening night, even before she sang a single note, the audience applauded for 5 full minutes. Her performance established Marian once more as a trailblazer who opened up opportunities for Black Americans. The celebrated conductor Arturo Toscanini said that a voice such as Marian's was heard once in 100 years. Indeed, Marian Anderson's glorious singing, combined with her perseverance in the face of prejudice, shattered racial barriers and enriched the lives of countless people.